Diktuk Umasoret HaMikra, Parashat Behar 5. In Perek Kafhe, Pasuk Lamed, we see, Im lo yigael ad melot lo shana tmima v'kama bayit asher ba'ir asher lo homa latzemitut. We're going to focus on the words lo homa. In English, if you take the translation as written by some, it says, if it shall not be redeemed before a complete year has passed, the house which is in the city that has a wall shall belong permanently to whoever bought it. Now, the question here, it's a kriyativ. The word lo in the written word, it's lamed aleph, that there is no wall, but it's read as if it's lamed vav, that there is a wall, that the city has a wall. And Rashi comments on this as follows from Torah Kohanim. He brings down the Torah Kohanim, which says, Asher lo homa lo karinan, lamed vav karinan. We read the pasuk as if it means Asher lo homa, that it has a wall, not lamed aleph but lamed vav. ורבותינו ז"ל אמרו, אף על פי שאין לו עכשיו. Why then the kriyativ? The Chachamim in Torah Kohanim stated that what they're talking about is a city which today doesn't have a wall, but beforehand it did have a wall. אף על פי שאין לו עכשיו, it didn't have a wall. הואיל והייתה לו קודם לכן. It had a wall before. So then it's considered עיר חומה. Now, Rashi here then asks the obvious question. The way the phrase is written, normally the word for city, ir, is nekeva. It's a feminine noun associated with it, and so therefore the word really should, the pasuk should have said, Asher la homa, lamed hey. La homa means for the feminine, if it now she has a wall, or the city has a wall, or it did have a wall at one point, but it's written lo homa, even though lo would mean for zachar, lamed vav, and lamed vav would mean him, his. For the city itself, if it's a masculine, it would be lamed vav, but it's a feminine, it should be lamed hey. So Rashi says, why is that? And he tries to give an explanation. He says, mitoch shetzarich lichtov lo bifnim, because the pasuk, the way the written text was, lamed aleph bifnim, lo does not have a homa. So the Hachamim, as a result, they instituted the fact that lo lamed vav in place of lamed aleph, because the sound is the same. So if it didn't have a homa with lo, it has a homa with lamed vav, even though the city is feminine, it should have said la, but it says lo because of lashon nofel al lashon, is the way Rashi brought it, that the language falls on one another. So because of that, there's an exception to the grammar. The Hezekuni says, no, that's not what it means. Actually, the reason it said lo homa with a lamed vav instead of a lamed he is because it's referring to the word sadeh, which is also in the previous sentence and in the sentence following. It means that today there's no wall. So what's right around it is the sadeh kramim. So the sadeh and the kramim, both of them happen to be masculine nouns, and therefore the word lo lamed vav was put in that place. It's not a case of lashon nofel lashon the way Rashi had written it. Now there's an interesting question about, all right, so it's a lamed vav, lamed aleph, lo and lo. How does the Baal Koreh read it? It's the same sound. It sounds like it's the same sound. So if you have lamed aleph and it's supposed to be read lamed vav, is there really a difference? Well, I heard from one of my friends and colleagues in Israel, in Yerushalayim, he said the following. He said, lamed aleph in the Hebrew, is the way it should be said is lo. It's a short sound, means no, no. It's a word which is obviously emphasized that way. But lo with lamed vav was a softer sound. Asher lo homa, that it has a homa, it is a softer sound. Lo, mean if somebody says to you, do you want to do this? The answer is lo. They answer no. And it's a quick, short answer. So there's a slight difference. By the way, there's another pasuk in Tehillim which has a very similar issue. It's in Tehillim Perek Kuf, Mizmor LaTodah. There it says, Hu asanu velo anachnu. Velo anachnu, it's written Lamed Aleph, but it's read Lamed Vav. So it means, Hu asanu, that God made us and we didn't do it. Lo anachnu, but that's the ktiv, but the kari, velo anachnu, we belong to Him. We belong to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So again, the Lamed Vav is pronounced more softer. Lo, as opposed to lo. And that's how one would distinguish between the two.